beautifully. My lungs appear to be non-smoking lungs.
There we go.
The doctors at Vanderbilt University know it because they were going to take a kidney from me 2 years ago to give to somebody else. I could not have given that gift or even attempted to give that gift when I was a smoker. They couldn't take it because I have a really tiny renal artery. But I got
It says waiting for scuba. It should be on now, Scott.
My point is the doctor.
Yeah, it's a video link. I had to do it again because it was screwed.
We can't help the way that they are corrupt. We cannot help the fact that they are in bed with government to keep us sick. But we can rise up. We can stand up, and we can shout to the White House on 3. We vape. We 3.
We vape. We vote. We matter. We vape. We vote. We matter. Okay.
We matter. We vape. We vote. We matter. We vape. We vote. We matter. We vape. We vote. We matter.
You absolutely matter. You absolutely do. You know, our elected officials need to realize how very un-American it would be to limit free enterprise and restrict adult choices. They need to hear we vape, we vote in their dreams. They need to see it on their Twitter feed. So if you do not have a Twitter account, please, for the love of all that is vape related, download it and make it happen because it makes a difference.
Oh, can't.
Thank you. If I can get my phone to behave, I'm going to try to copy Amanda and remember this glorious moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Give her a big round of applause.
Yeah. Oh, this is really hard without the gimbal.
All right, everyone. Again, we got another advocate who's absolutely amazing. President of the Ohio Vaping Trade Association. It's my pleasure to welcome.
Well, the gimbal.
James.
Oh yeah, I can. I think.
What's up,
there we
DC?
go. Is it upside down for you guys? Let me try this.
And the time with their families to come out here and make a point and let President Trump know flavors aren't a crime.
Is it upside down? It is upside down? Oh, crap. It won't do it.
100,000 employees.
I was going to put it on the gimbal.
The 15,000 vape shops.
It won't switch around,
The 13.5
unfortunately.
million vapers. But most importantly, the
So I can't put it on the
480,000 that can
gimbal.
no longer speak for themselves a year because they die from cancer that is caused by combustible cigarettes. What do we want to tell the president?
We vape, we vote, 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 we vape,
We vote.
we vape,
We vote.
we vape, we vote, we vape, we vote, we vape, we vote.
Louder!
We vape. We vote. We vape. We vote. We vape. We vote. We vape. We vote.
We vape, we vote, we vape, we vote, we vape, we vote, we vape.
We're here to show the size of the $24 billion industry in the United States. Think about that. Just 11 years ago, this technology didn't exist. You guys, every one of you here is a success story. Most of you use that success story to start your own businesses. And I can't thank you enough for taking the opportunity and taking the risk to prove and to show others that vaping can save your
Hopefully,
life.
yeah, Cassie. If I start yelling, then I'll start coughing
I don't know
again.
about you, but I am sick and tired of getting beaten down, slandered, the relentless attacks from the so-called public health groups. The media has been slandering this industry, and they haven't been telling the whole story. Every day you wake up to a new rash of reports about illnesses caused by vapor. What they never told you was this was not caused by liquid nicotine product. This was caused by black market illegal THC cartridges. Absolutely zero accountability for these groups. They need to be brought to justice and held accountable. And we start today. People are going back to smoking cigarettes because of the lies. That is disgusting. That is un-American. We're going to change it. And we start today. Vape shop owners, the small mom and pop stores are in business to help people quit combustible tobacco. And
at least I got it going again. My phone was dying. I couldn't do anything about it.
We want to get smokers off of the horrible thing that's been handcuffing them for years. We want to give them an option that is 95% safer than combustible tobacco. We are not big tobacco. Today we face multiple issues that have been misunderstood and wrapped together. Flavors, illnesses, all of it just keeps on being relentlessly attacked to us. Youth usage just went up. Smoking's at an all-time low, actually, for the second year in a row in adults and the youth. Imagine that, because of vapor products. We are extremely concerned about the illnesses, and especially the deaths that are occurring. However, we are starting to learn and see more and more, especially yesterday, that this product is coming from black market THC products.
3,500 speed.
Vaping. The CDC continue to warn of the dangers of vaping, but bury the facts in the bottom of their story. That is wrong, and they need to be held accountable today. Flavors are not going to solve the issue. Banning flavors will not solve this issue. We know that. We need to make sure he knows that. I want to close by saying we are the consumer-created solution to the tobacco epidemic. We are not big tobacco. We vape and we vote.
We vape, we vote, we vape, we vote, we vape, we vote. Yeah, that guy.
Keep it going. Make him hear it. I love you both. Thank you so much.
Whew.
James Jarvis for president, ladies and gentlemen. That was awesome. All right, the next person that we're bringing in is Kimberly Williams. She is a 6-year military veteran and a mother of 3. Please give her a big welcome.
My finger's getting in the way, sorry. I'm holding the charger and the phone and trying to keep it still. So.
Around 3 in the morning, November 19th, 2013, that's almost 7 years ago, I stood in the dark in a nursing home parking lot, smoking my last cigarette. The reason I knew it was my last cigarette was because I just held my mother's hand while she took her last breath. She died that cold November morning of COPD from a habit she couldn't stop. She knew it was killing her, and she still couldn't stop. I stared at that cigarette and wondered how much it had already cost me. I was alone in the world now, and I had these stupid, smelly, nasty things to blame. I thought about how stupid I had been all these years. I didn't get to say goodbye to my mother because she never regained consciousness. My father had died of lung cancer when I was just 6 years old, and I hadn't got to say goodbye to him either. He coughed so hard that a blood vessel in his lung burst, and he drowned in his own blood. It was brutal. It was a sudden and unexpected death. His chemo had been working. We thought he was going to live. We thought he was going to make it. Now they were both gone. Dad had been in his late 50s and Mom her 60s. That is far too young for anyone to die. They would never see me marry my husband or see me start my own business or see me really succeed at what I love to do. And I didn't know then, but vaping would save my life and allow me to achieve the things that I wish my parents could be here to see. My name is Kimberly Elaine Williams. A lot of people know me as Lainey. I am a United States Air Force veteran. I served for 6 years from 2002 to 2008. All of which I was stationed at Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota. Any of you veterans out here probably know the saying, why not Minot? Freezing's the reason. You think it's cold out here today? Whew. So, before you ask, yes, it was ridiculously cold for about 9 months out of the year. That was the main reason I started smoking. I was in negative 25-degree temperatures with at least 15-mile-an-hour winds whipping my skin raw, while my co-workers got to go in a nice little shack and warm up every hour. That is enough to get you to start bumming smokes off people and eventually buy your own pack of cigarettes, right? Well, almost everyone smoked. That was simply the culture. I worked in a maintenance squadron. We were maintainers. I was an ammo troop. Huh? So, we were basically the blue-collar workers of the base. We were the construction workers, that kind of thing. So, everybody smoked. That's how you got to bond with your fellow airmen, and that's how you got to know your superiors, because they smoked too. Well, after I got out, I kept smoking. I got out of the service in March of 2008, and I smoked for 12 years altogether. Towards the end of that time, I noticed I was severely winded when I tried to climb the stairs of the 4-story history building at my college. Thanks, GI Bill. One day, I tried to run to class because I was late. And I realized with absolute and utter horror that I could not make myself run. I simply could not get enough oxygen in my lungs to power my muscles to go any faster. I was only 32. I continued to smoke anyway, knowing exactly what had caused that. That was the same year my mother died. I too am a mother. I have 3 amazing young men that I love dearly. Their names are Drake, Vincent,
really?
and Connor.
Munchkin is not the Wookiee.
And I could
Munchkin
not
is
give
right
myself
there.
a valid reason to keep
Speed
doing
says
this.
that's you
I could
up
not
there.
look at my boys and keep doing that. And I could not put them through the heartbreak that I
She
had
says
felt
she's not
holding
that
my
tall,
mother's hand.
Speed.
I knew I had to quit. However, I knew I was also addicted and that I would be extremely difficult to quit. I knew that the pills and the patches hadn't worked for me when I tried to quit before, so I turned to vaping. And it worked! Alright, thanks, guys. And it has continued to work for me for the last 7 years. And I could not be more grateful to an industry than this one. Vaping saved my life. I started out with a 24-milligram tobacco flavor, but that tasted awful. I switched to a flavored e-liquid. Vanilla custard helped me win my fight against smoking. I tried every vanilla custard I could get my hands on, and when I finally settled on one, I stuck with it for 3 years. Slowly but surely lowering my nicotine level as I went. Now
Oh,
I'm
I
on
can't
a
hold
break
this any
after
longer.
7 years, starting out at a 24 milligram. That's right. Flavors were the key to my success and even encouraged me to drop my nicotine levels. I could taste it better the lower the nicotine level
Look,
was.
we vaped the place out. They had to bring the fire truck.
Increased over the years. The bonus to that is I don't smell like an ashtray anymore.
Yes! Yeah!
I feel so much better, and I get sick far less than I used to.
Change hands? I can't change hands.
I'm now an avid hiker.
Yeah, it was a fire truck.
I take my vape with me.
Can you hold this?
It's got
Just a
raspberry
minute.
jam in it now, and I live in the Great
You're
Smoky Mountains.
fine.
The bears really seem to like it.
Hold this, and then take, and you got to be careful
I
because
still don't.
Sorry.
I still haven't smoked,
There you
and I
go.
still don't want to. I could never have done that before
before I switched to vaping. Flavors are the thing that kept me going and allowed me to beat that deadly habit. Flavors are the reason I keep vaping instead of going back to smoking. Flavors help me win. Flavors help me live. I just keep thinking that if these devices and these flavors had been around when my parents needed them, maybe I would still have them and they would still be alive. Maybe my kids would have their grandparents. Thanks to flavored e-liquids, my children and hopefully my grandchildren will still have me. And that is what makes me a single issue voter on vaping. We vape! We vote!
We vape! We vote! We vape! We vote! We vape! We vote!
I'm gonna take a selfie with you, beautiful people.
We vote! We vape! 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 We vote! We vape!
Thank you so much!
Big round of applause, everyone. That was great. All right, our next speaker is a consumer, Cincinnati, Ohio. He's got a very heartwarming story. Please welcome Jay Armstrong.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here with you guys. You know a lot of the people that have been up here, but who am I, right? Why am I here? My name is Jay Armstrong. I'm a husband. I'm a father. Believe it or not, I'm a grandfather. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a published writer. I'm a professional stand-up comedian. I'm a heroin addict and I'm an alcoholic in recovery. In fact, yesterday, November 8th, I celebrated 14 years of continuous sobriety. Most importantly for today, I'm a former smoker and I'm a former traditional tobacco user who quit by using vapor technology with flavored nicotine e-liquid. I grew up in a small town in Kentucky and my parents raised me in a hardline Southern Baptist church. And while I did suffer quite a bit of trauma in my childhood, they did the best that they knew how. As a child, I suffered from some pretty serious depression and anxiety disorders, and I didn't know how to describe how I felt. My parents didn't know what questions to ask to help me.
No, I'm pretty sure they were cheering that he quit heroin.
They didn't drink, they didn't smoke, they didn't take drugs, and they told me all those things are evil. At 12 years old, I smoked a cigarette for the first time, and I got that little bit of a head buzz, and my anxiety was lessened a little bit. I felt a little better, and it tasted terrible, and it made me cough, but I kept doing it. And I drank alcohol for the first time that year also. And as soon as it hit my bloodstream, I felt better than I had ever felt before. Suddenly my anxiety and my feeling of alienation that I lived with was all gone. For the first time in my life, I felt on the inside like other people looked on the outside. I felt okay. From there on out, I smoked cigarettes and I drank every chance that I got. At 16, the guys that I hung out with told me that when I drank, I was too crazy, so I couldn't drink with them anymore. And they were like 45. And they introduced me to opiate narcotics. Right? And that was like a miracle. You know what I mean? I the same emotional and mental condition, but without the crazy stuff that I was doing. And while using opiate narcotics, the feeling a cigarette gave me became even more comforting than it had previously. At that time, I loved smoking cigarettes. I would smoke before I got out of bed in the morning, after every meal, after every activity through the day, and I had a pretty bad habit of passing out with a lit cigarette at the end of most nights. And
Same thing, but
after years of smoking, I started waking up coughing and hacking up lung butter.
Oh, okay.
Chest pains became common during any strenuous activity. And even at 21 years old, I knew that that chest pain and that coughing was from smoking. I started switching back and forth between smoking and chewing tobacco and dip. And around the same time, I also started showing up at psych wards for detox. I was offered the nicotine patch every single time I checked in, and I started trying to use the patch, and I couldn't make it through a day, even as a secured facility like a hospital, with the nicotine patch on without sneaking cigarettes in their bathroom. The only success that I had to quit smoking would be to switch to smokeless tobacco like dip or chew. On November 8th of 2005, I stepped into a detox facility of a homeless shelter that offered a recovery program in Louisville, Kentucky. And while I was there, they told me not to try to quit smoking again for a year. And I had hope to be able to quit, right? I felt okay okay, I'm going to go through this year, and I have these tools of recovery, and I'm going to be able to quit after this year. And I had never been so wrong about anything in my life. I tried the patch again, I tried the gum again, and I failed just like I had when I was using drugs and drinking. I still couldn't quit smoking. I could conquer heroin, but I could not conquer tobacco. About 5 years ago, I got booked for a gig at a comedy club in Syracuse, New York, and we rented a car that we couldn't smoke in.
Backing up.
And so I just stepped, and I had my current girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, who is this young lady here recording.
It is a little cold.
Yeah, we got married like a week ago.
You can't see the phone shaking.
Dib, you know what I mean? So she bought a little 50-watt pink E-leaf from a buddy of mine and a little Arctic V1 tank.
I didn't look to see. There's no way I'd have to stop the cast, flip the screen, and restart it again.
There's lots of people with
there's media.
cameras, but it's hard to tell who's media.
She just got her picture too.
Right? Not at all.
RS was talking to a guy from Getty
I'm here
Images.
because now that 13 million of us have made the conversion to vapor products, the federal and state governments are starting to feel the loss of tobacco revenue. They want to ban the product that they see as a threat to their budgets. I'm here for the same reason you guys are all here. To let these policymakers know that they're not going to pay for their revenue losses with our lives. The budget shortfalls that they're seeing due to decreased master settlement agreement payments or tax revenue,
I just needed a
that's
minute.
their issue. That's not ours. I'm here to let Washington, D.C. know that we understand that what they're calling a public health emergency is really a financial emergency. And we know it. And we know it. We know that that's what they want to push us back to smoking. And we know that because I've watched these hearings. I watched former smokers almost in tears begging these committees not to ban their flavors, saying it will push us back to tobacco. And it's not going to push me back. But even though they say that, these committees vote to ban immediately anyway. They don't care. That's what they want. There are people that will go back to
like this
traditional
anymore.
tobacco. There are. Addiction is a difficult thing to conquer of any kind.
But tighten up my pants. Oh, there we go.
Addiction is two parts. There's a physical dependency, which for us is the nicotine.
Jesus.
And if that was the only part there was to addiction, then these patches and these pills and these lozenges would work way better than they do. Psychological aspect of addiction is the hardest part to beat. And the more things that you have to help you, the better it is. A support network, even if it's only a Facebook group or the clerk at your local shop. But for most of us, it's the flavor is the thing that helps us the most because we find it enjoyable.
You're welcome.
And that's why that's the thing that they want to ban because
He
that's
does
the
not
thing
need
that
elastic
is
waistbands.
also hurting big tobacco.
I need
I'm here to
elastic
let these
waist pants.
politicians know who and what we are. We are not bots. We are fathers. We are sons. We are husbands. We are wives. We are children. I'm a writer, I'm a performer, I'm a clean, sober alcoholic and drug addict. I'm a former smoker who quit using vapor technology and flavored nicotine e-liquid. And now, for the first time since 1998,
If you want to.
first time in 20 years, Jay Armstrong's a registered voter. I'm here to let them know that I vape and I vote, and you guys are here to let them know that we vape and we vote. Thank you.
Top left.
We vape! We vote! 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 We vote!
All right. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. She is a consumer advocate. She is the queen of DIY. Her name is Jennifer Winstead. Give her a big, warm welcome.
He lied, y'all. I'm not a queen of DIY. I told him not to say that. So, guys, my name is Jennifer Winstead. I was supposed to bring a piece of paper so I could speak, and I'm a midget. 5'2" with heels on. We love you, Gooseberry. My name is Jennifer Winstead. I am 47 years old. Vaping saved my life, as it has saved all of you.
The left hand shaking too much.
I accidentally quit smoking with vaping over 10 years ago. I had a great mint. God, I'm nervous. I hate crowds.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay,
That's
here we
cold.
go. Let's do this again. You can hear me now?
Wow.
Can you hear me now?
You can go in between, but not
I
the
accidentally
bare
quit
skin.
smoking over 10 years ago with Great Mint flavored vapor at 24 milligrams. Today, I'm vaping a strawberry coconut milk at 3 milligrams.
Yeah, see, Camilla wanted to see
I have
Jennifer.
4 kids, ages 18 to 25. You know what that means? I have 4 legal voting children. 3 out of my 4 of my kids don't smoke. None of my kids smoke, and 3 out of them, 3 do not even vape. One of them vapes, but vaping saved his life too. On September 11th, President Trump and Alex Azar got on TV and talked about eliminating flavored vapor. So I started tweeting on September 13th. No, I'm not a bot just because I started on September 13th. If they ban flavored vapor, I will practice civil disobedience.
Hell yeah.
Civil disobedience is what we will do. My story is a little bit different because I had no intention on quitting smoking. I started my vaping journey in order to not make the house smell like cigarettes anymore. It was winter. I hate the cold, so as you can imagine, I am freaking freezing out here. And that winter in 2008, North Carolina had one of a big snowstorm, so I got snowed in. And I ran out of cigarettes, so I vaped for 3 days because we couldn't leave the house. During those 3 days, I vaped Great Mint flavor, and at the end of day 3, I thought I was going to smoke again. Went to the store, bought a pack of cigarettes, took that saran wrap off, lit up that cigarette, put it in my mouth, and flicked it back out that window.
Hey, John.
In 3 days, flavors changed my perception of that cigarette taste, and it was disgusting. I could no longer smoke again. 11 years, almost 11 years later, here I am, still smoke-free. Smoking is ritualistic. So, ritualistic lifestyle. And vaping kept my rituals while eliminating the harm of combustible cigarettes. I still do what I normally used to do with cigarettes. I still vape right after my coffee. I vape after my meal. I vape while I drink wine. And all those other things we used to do when we used to smoke, we could still do with vaping without all the harm. Vaping saved my life. It saved my husband, my son, my sister, and countless number of people that in my immediate friends and family. I have been watching the congressional hearings, and I hear mothers explain to her son, how her son has 2 Juul pod a day habit.
Yeah.
Those Juul pods are mighty expensive. Where does little Johnny get $350 a month? I don't know. I'd say lower that allowance, man. My kids don't have $350. We don't have a vaping, flavored vaping problem in America. We have a THC problem in America.
That's right.
This is an adult choice problem. We're adults, right?
Yeah.
Let us be adults and make choices of our own.
I went and talked to Jay Hayes, and he was like, I know who you are. You're the guy with the really loud microphone. I was like, really? That's how you know me?
No! Will it be after they give it to Big Tobacco? No! No.
Did you tell him it's not the microphone?
Yeah, I said, I'm loud anyway.
Millions of people
I
return
said,
to
you know, I think it's because my mom was hard of hearing, so I
Let's be clear.
always talk
The
loud so
CDC
she could understand what I was
let's use
saying.
their words. Let's be clear. Aren't we sick and tired of hearing? Let's be clear. The CDC and anti-vaping activists are using the media, the government, and officials to broadcast their misinformation. They are misleading our president as well as the public to gain support and take away our civil liberties. This is not a flavored vapor problem. This is not a nicotine problem. This is a black market problem. This ban is serious. We will not go away without a fight. Every single one of us here is here to fight for vaping.
Good, Janet. It's RS holding the camera right now.
A direct result of the black market product and proof that our government does not have a good action plan to control the black market. It's absolutely crazy to think that instead of addressing the black market problem situation, their bright idea is to ban flavors, including mint and menthol. The plan will effectively hand vaping over in the black market to cigarette companies. Newsflash: the vaping black market will move fast.
Keep your hands warm stuff.
Making
Thank you,
e-vapes
Janet.
sell on the black market does not take
Hey,
a
old dog.
rocket science. Flavors PG, VG are easily found online and in grocery stores. The flavors you find in those places are dangerous because they can contain unsafe oils, food coloring, preservatives, and a number of things that should not go inside our vapor products. Ask me
Yeah,
how
Cassie, I
know
was
why.
able to get in home help for today.
Give them to you. You gotta let them,
I know how they work. We used to use these.
While legitimate, this will go on, and then children can really get sick and really end up in the hospital. And they can say it's due to vaping, but it will be the vaping black market.
I have no idea
Civil
who the
disobedience
Wookiee
is
is.
what I call for. Smoking cigarettes are to blame for roughly 6 million deaths every year. The United States, 1,300 people died yesterday. 1,300 people died today. And 1,300 people will die tomorrow. In comparison to the safety of smoking versus vaping, there's no comparison there. I want the president to know that I'm not a registered Republican. I'm a registered independent, but I did vote for him in 2016. But if President Trump regulates flavor vapor, I will not support his reelection. DIY is my passion, but DIY is a hobby and should not be the only option for smokers to use to use flavored vapor products. Let's face it, flicking a bic is a lot easier than vaping. Vaping. All smokers deserve the same right to choose a healthier alternative, just like I had. And we are here to give them that opportunity. Vaping saved my life as it has saved you. We vape, we vote. We're not going anywhere. Civil disobedience is what I call for, should they enact this flavor ban.
We vape, we vote, 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 we vape.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. That was awesome. Next person I want to introduce to you is President of Texas Safada. One thing I'd like to say is that because of what's happening here, we brought everyone together. We've got Safada, we've got ATA, we've got American Vaping Association, we've got CASA, we've got Americans for Tax Reform. This is bringing people together like no other subject ever. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Thank you for making this a success. So please give a warm welcome to Shell Hamill.
UVA has done a fabulous job, have they not? My name is Shell Hamill, and for the past 7 years, I have had the honor of advocating for the vaping industry. I've spoken for consumers and business alike. I've fought on your behalf in front of numerous state legislators and several federal agencies. I've done my best to educate public health benefits providing vaping products. And I've negotiated with the FDA to produce a reasonable regulatory framework. I've fought flavor bans, tax increases, and public use bans. I poured my heart and soul into protecting and promoting
I wish I could.
technology that I believe saves lives.
Hold the camera still.
I'm sorry to say that I'm still struggling to make them listen, but you're making them listen today. I'm getting tired of trying to teach them and explain to them and educate them as an outsider. In fact, I'm not going to do it anymore. Instead, I've decided to take our message to the Capitol building as a member of Congress. So today,
Sorry about that, folks.
They may say the camera's gone. If it does, then.
We vape, we vote, we vape, we vote.
Can you guys still see the cast?
Please join me at the end of November when I officially kick off my candidacy, and visit my website at voteshell.com
Camera's
friends
out
in this
again.
crowd, I am
Crap.
literally a regular.
All right, I got to stop it again, guys, because of the
I came from
camera. It
literally
sucks.
nothing, and like most